So why should we pay any attention to him?
Because the prose is very beautiful, and because he tested the borders of literature, and because he did set out the most radical notions of liberty ever set forth by probably any thinker in Western civilization.
He was a predatory sexual man. He cut women up and abused them.
And he added a word to the language: sadism, deriving pleasure from inflicting or watching cruelty.
Is he a pervert who needs to be locked up? Or is he an amazingly radical, enlightenment-free thinker? He's both.
There's no question but that he's an important thinker. It's just that one has to wade through such rivers of smut to get to the islands of the ideas that I think most people don't bother.
Marquis de Sade is a nihilist, shown in this photo right here, or this other one that I think is a little bit more funnier, but is made afterwards. He doesn't really see meaning in purpose, he doesn't see meaning in monarchy, he doesn't see meaning in aristocracy and all of that, but he does see meaning in one thing, and that is pain. Because he's a nihilist, he doesn't care about the virtue in society, but he cares about one thing, and that is some sort of hedonism, or his own definition of hedonism, which is the idea of sadism, where it's not about the pleasure, it's about the pain, and the pain makes you feel alive, therefore you feel like you live. Sade speaks about the most deepest part of the human psyche, and that is the lust. Even though this is a dirty man, he's extremely influential in the Western world, not because of his actually morals or a commentary on monarchy, but no, because he created a framework of pure sadistic sexual hedonism, which many people has followed, especially serial killer or cult leaders, and popular culture has it very much set in. I'm not talking about masochistic satanism or stuff like that, but just the idea that pain is meaning of sorts. And it is, why it's popular, it's because popular culture, the enemy of the popular culture in in the movies and the films, is usually some sort of a sadist, usually. And even when trying to describe a bad person, they're usually sadists. Say the worst of the worst, the enemy of the civilized world is a sadist. The Italians have some sort of talent in making Sade's books into movies. Like this, for example, this scene. It's a simple scene from 120 Days of Sodom that the Italians made. Now that is a PG-13 scene from that movie. It's called Salo, or 100 Days of Sodom, or something like that. That movie is fucking disgusting. They eat poop, they have... yes, it's disgusting. The concept, though, is quite an interesting one, and I think it's worth discussing. It is, what if you had 120 days, you could do whatever you want with quite a lot of people, and how would humans do after a certain period of time? And Sade's answer being, you would completely start doing things you could never imagine doing before. You would open up some sort of a door in your soul that all of these dirty things that you had in your head will come true. I mean, we all had dirty fantasies from time to time, but what if you actually had time to do them? Would you actually do them? And if you had no consequences to your action and live purely hedonistic lifestyle, Sade would say yes, you would. Sade, being a dirty fucking pervert, when he actually describes these, what humans would do, he obviously does it quite verbally, like he describes it. I mean, if I just take, page 310 from the book, which is quite in the end, where they have hidden the insanity and they start just doing things. Yes, in the 1st of December, he ties a girl of 9 in a curled up position and duplicates her from behind, 3. He wishes to rape a girl of 12 or 13 and just... It's disgusting. He obviously usually talks about underage girls. I mean, we're talking about prepubescent girls and how these men wants to... all of these nasty things. So... It's smut, it's disgusting, it's one of the worst type of fan fiction back in the day. I mean, when Napoleon read this, I mean, Sade was a very honorable man. Well, because he comes from an honorable family. So when Napoleon saw he was in jail because he read this, he wrote this smut, Napoleon actually said, let him out. But then he actually got the book, and then he started reading the book, and then he said, throw him back in again. Like, this is... vile and disgusting for many fucking good reasons. We're talking about having deflowering underage girls, and it's alright, just to give a little bit of another example from page 319. He has himself flogged while kissing a boy's ass and while fucking a girl in the mouth, and then he fucks the boy in the mouth while kissing a girl's asshole, the while constantly receiving lashes from another girl, and then he has the boy flog him, or he fucks the whore been whipping him, and then has himself flogged by the girl whose ass he's just been kissing. De Sade also wrote, actually his most famous book, Justine, which is a little bit more interesting, I think. It's about this young virgin woman, kind of like holy in her behavior, and she gets corrupted and does all the kind of things. And the Italians made a quite interesting movie of it.
La 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 la.
For you to sleep upstairs.
Yes, sir, but you sleep here.
Precisely. And this pretty little trinket may be yours, but not at once. Maybe in 2 or 3 months, I think. Not here or here. But here. Too quickly, you little devil!
Let go!
Come back!
The idea is pretty much the same as 120 Days of Sodom. If a young woman, an innocent woman, pure woman, would be surrounded by filth and hedonisms and these like men who constantly wants to, well, in this scene, have sex with her, how would she become? I mean, Justine gets into a whorehouse later and she gets kind of kicked out, and I think it was because she didn't want to have sex with some sort of a prince. I haven't actually read the entire book, but just it's a part of human nature he's describing, that everybody can turn into hedonism, even the most purest of us all. There is this funny movie called Fragmento, which kind of makes fun on Marquis, and kind of like looks at his life, and they're all pigs and all that kind of stuff. Kind of funny. Look at the clip here.
Ventre Dieu, crénom la belle lézarde.
Elle ne vaut pas celles qui sont dehors, mais on va la baiser.
Tu n'y penses pas. Des fentes pareilles, ça coupe.
On la pénètre ou je refuse d'approcher Amber.
Je te cède. Mais ne viens pas pleurer après. Faites excuse, madame. C'est pour le petit. Il n'en peut plus.
To summarize, De Sade is a nihilist that sees the meaning of his existence just to follow his purest primate impulses, and loves pain, sucks at human interaction because he actually wasn't that good at having sexual pleasures. Trust me, the stories that people told what he did with the women were not actually nothing that you actually want. At the same time, his critique and what he kind of described as the most inner demons of humans is quite interesting, and he's not wrong. I mean, what he did is not good for society and civilization as a whole, but we are animals, and he also kind of describes how humans are animals, and sometimes people turn into horrible things, and I mean, look throughout history. There are horrible people who have done many horrible stuff, and he was kind of the first one to talk about these horrible things, so that's good. Even though it took nearly 300 years, well, not 300 years, it took quite a while after Sade's death before we start talking about him again. Because he's writing is smut, and it's kind of nasty fanfic material. Alright, take care everybody.